Hello, and welcome to Smart Mortgage Insights. I'm Mandy LaRose.
And I'm Conor Levinka. Today we're going to talk to you about a program that is not as well known as some of the other programs out there you may have heard of. And this is what's called the USDA/RD program, which is the United States Department of Agricultural or Rural Development. It's a great loan out there that's one of only two that does not require a down payment.
Yes, absolutely. This is a great program for properties that are eligible in rural areas. And so we're going to kind of go through this a bit. It's not as popular as a program that's used. And honestly, I think it's just because people don't really know as much about it. So every once in a while we'll get a phone call, hey, do you do a RD loan? And so
it does have some strings attached.
So it does, yes.
Why you have to be a little bit more careful.
Absolutely. So we're going to go through today on the program and just kind of hit the bullet points and everything. And the first thing Conor mentioned, one of the best parts about the program is there is no down payment that's required on it. So that's a really nice feature to the program. It is a zero down. They do have income limits to this program. The income limits, I'm going to say, though, they're very generous.
The income limits are generous, but they also have limits on what you can spend in terms of debt to income.
Yes.
Those are a little bit more restrictive.
Absolutely. And the income limits that they're looking at, it's going to be total household income. So regardless of who's going on the loan, they're going to look at the full picture of everyone in the household as well. So it's important that if you're going to apply for one of these types of loans, that you've got your ducks in a row when it comes to income and who's all working in the household, because we're going to need to make sure that we've got all that figured out as well.
Exactly. And when it comes down to that as well, we said already, rural, as a general rule, you need to be between 40 and 50 miles away from a major metropolitan area to even be allowed to qualify for this.
Yes. So we look at the property that you're going to purchase. There's a map that determines the eligibility. We make sure that the property's in the eligibility area, and then we can move forward on that, of course, depending on where your income is sitting. And then also your credit as well. USDA isn't a program that is real harsh on credit, but you do need to have credit. You do need to have credit scores, and you do need to have decent credit. And so we're going to go through that and make sure that payments have been made on time, no late payments in the last 12 months, no collections, things like that, because they are particular about that kind of stuff as well.
And not only do you tend to get a lower than market interest rate when you get one of these loans, you also are going to have a lower upfront fee at the beginning of the loan, in addition to low monthly mortgage insurance in comparison to other programs such as FHA or even conventional.
Yes, and the nice thing about this program, you don't have without having the down payment, but you do have that mortgage insurance. Gosh, I can talk today. I've got that mortgage insurance in there from the USDA on the monthly, but it's not a real high monthly payment on that as well. So it's very user friendly when it comes to the program. The other thing about the program is the property. We think about this being in rural area, and so one might think, well, the property can just not have water or not have all the amenities that the home needs.
It needs to be a house.
It needs to be a house.
Not a barn.
Yes, absolutely. It needs to have all the amenities. You need to be able to travel there year round.
Utilities.
Yes, all those things as well. So the main purpose of the USDA loan is basically for low to moderate income borrowers. And the great thing about the USDA loan as well is it is insured by the USDA. So it's 100% finance loan geared towards borrowers who are moderate to low income with generous income limits that they offer as well.
And finally, it is for a primary residence. So this is not going to be for an income-producing investment property. It will be someplace that you will need to live at. But overall, it's a really great option. It can be a little bit complicated with some of the strings, but don't be afraid to ask your LO, is a USDA loan right for you?
Absolutely. It might be a great program that works really well for you.
It sure might be. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
This podcast is sponsored by Residential Mortgage LLC, NMLS numbers 167729, 196 576, and 1820404. Equal housing lender.